Good morning, class 12th. Today we will be discussing about the innovations in environmental biotechnology. First, let us understand what is environmental biotechnology. Environmental biotechnology is a system of scientific and engineering knowledge related to the use of environmental things, that is related to the use of living things or maybe microorganisms and their products in the prevention of again an environmental thing, that is pollution. Okay, so use of living things to clean up the environment and producing different types of innovative things, innovative products using biotechnology is the gist of environmental biotechnology. Okay, again try to understand. Environmental biotechnology is a system of scientific and engineering knowledge related to the use of microorganisms and their products. When we talk about microorganisms and their products, we mean that biotechnology is related. Okay, so the use of microorganisms and their products in the prevention of environmental pollution through treatment of solid, liquid or gaseous wastes. Bioremediation, you must have heard about the term. Last year I have taught you bioremediation of polluted environment and biomonitoring. Biomonitoring means monitoring the biological content, the percentage of microorganisms in a particular area, in a particular pond or maybe particular soil is biomonitoring of environment, and treatment is all the content of environmental biotechnology. Okay, so let us move forward to what is bioremediation. Bioremediation is a branch of biotechnology. Again, you can say it is a sub branch of biotechnology and comes under a bigger branch of environmental biotechnology, employing the use of living organisms like microbes and bacteria to remove contaminants, pollutants and toxins from soil and water. Okay, bioremediation may be used to clean up environmental problems such as oil spills or contaminated groundwater. See, here you should understand that we have only studied about oil spills. Spills is related to water pollution, but bioremediation can also be used to clear the soil, to clean the soil. The bacteria which are present in the soil can also be treated by bioremediation. So that is an altogether different branch of bioremediation. Clear? So here in your syllabus they have strictly mentioned oil spills, but further I'll see if we can discuss about soil also, because this is a new technology and you should learn about this also. So let us start about the bioremediation only. What is the advantage? Why at all bioremediation is needed? This is a big question. In bioremediation, you know the technique. Here biological things are used, biological products are used to clean up the environment. So if any biological thing is used to clean up the environment, of course it will not have adverse effect on the nature. So bioremediation offers numerous advantages over the other cleanup methods. By relying solely on natural processes, it is relatively green method that minimizes damage to ecosystems. So as you can see, this is the biggest advantage of using bioremediation as a technique for protecting the environment, because when we use any other chemical, we are actually, like pesticides for example, if we are using pesticides which are chemical in nature, these chemicals will have some kind of bad effect, some kind of adverse effect on the environment, on or maybe in the long run may cause certain kind of changes in the humans who are consuming these products. But when we are using a biologically created microorganism or biologically created product, then the adverse effects are not there. So it is by relying solely on natural processes, because in bioremediation the natural processes are used. So it is a very good advantage and a very better advantage over the cleanup methods, other chemical cleanup methods. Here we are comparing it with the cleanup methods in which the chemicals are employed. So that is why these days everyone has recognized the importance of bioremediation and is working in this field. Why I am telling you this whole topic today again? Because when in class 11th you have studied this, you have only studied about the superbug or oil eating bacteria, but here you have to understand what is the reason behind the creation of a superbug, why only bioremediation is needed, and what is environmental biotechnology. So all these things you need to understand along with the superbug. So you know that superbug or the oil eating bacteria was produced by, was made by, was genetically engineered, would be a better term, engineered by Anand Mohan Chakrabarty. The spelling of Chakrabarty remains Barti. Last year you have written Borty. Both the spellings are correct. It's been a title or the common noun, so the spelling can vary. Somewhere it is also written O, somewhere it is found as A. Both the spellings are correct. That is why I have written A today, because earlier you have written O. You can write whatever you feel like, either O or A. So Anand Mohan Chakrabarty, see, he is the person. Anand Mohan Chakrabarty is the father of patent microbiology. Why? Because he was the first person to get something living patented. A live human made microorganism is patentable. There was a legal case which was filed by Anand Mohan Chakrabarty to get his innovation, to get his superbug patented for himself and his company General Motors. He is General Electricals. He was actually working in General Electricals, GE, and then there he produced this genetically modified superbug. But what actually happened? Earlier to Anand Mohan Chakrabarty, there was a rejection of an application where the patent for plant fibers were being given. There was an application given to get patent on plant fibers. Somebody created that plant fibers and wanted to get a patent over it, but that was not being given and the application was rejected. This happened much before Anand Mohan Chakrabarty's case. So after that, nobody was getting a patent over any living thing or any kind of product which is formed by a living thing. But now when Anand Mohan Chakrabarty filed this application again and said that it is not naturally occurring bacteria, the Pseudomonas putida. You remember Pseudomonas putida? We will talk about it later. So what he did, he said that naturally present Pseudomonas putida is altogether a different organism. But what I am doing, what Anand Mohan Chakrabarty said, what I am doing is actually a genetic engineering technique. I am using a technique in which I am mixing all these 4 plasmids, characters of all these 4 plasmids present in these 4 strains of Pseudomonas, and making it into a new individual which is not found in the nature, which is not been created by nature. So it is actually human made. It is human made a microorganism and it is not a naturally occurring microorganisms. So finally the verdict came that okay, the alive human made microorganism is patentable. It was a very huge victory of Anand Mohan Chakrabarty, and after that he was being named as father of patent microbiology. Okay, so this is one important aspect here, that who is, if a question comes, who is the father of patent microbiology, you know it is Anand Mohan Chakrabarty. And for what? Of course for Pseudomonas putida, which is the oil eating bacteria. Clear?